Good morning, bows and bells. National Book Lovers Day was August 9th, and it's August 9th of each year, sometimes on the first Saturday in November. So bibliophiles get to celebrate on National Book Lovers Day. These are my summer reads I am wrapping up on. This is The Athena Project by Brad Thor. Thor nails it. It's a thriller both men and women will love. The world's most elite counterterrorism unit has just taken its game to an entirely new level, and not a moment too soon. From behind the rows of razor wire, a new breed of counterterrorism operations has emerged. Just as skilled, just as fearsome, and just as deadly as their colleagues, Delta Force's newest members have only one thing setting them apart: their gender. Part of a top-secret, all-female program codenamed the Athena Project, four of Delta's best and brightest women about to undertake one of the nation's deadliest assignments. When a terrorist attack in Rome kills more than 20 Americans, Athena team members Gretchen Casey, Julie Erickson, Megan Rhodes, and Alex Cooper are tasked with hunting down the Venetian arms dealer responsible for providing the explosives. But there is more to the story than anyone knows. In the jungles of South America, a young U.S. intelligence officer has made a grisly discovery. Surrounded by monoliths covered with runic symbols, one of America's greatest fears appears to have come true. Simultaneously, in Colorado, a foreign spy is close to penetrating the mysterious secret the U.S. government has hidden beneath Denver's International Airport. As Casey, Erickson, Rhodes, and Cooper close in on their target, they will soon learn that another attack, one of unimaginable proportions, has already been set in motion, and the greatest threat they face may be the secrets kept by their own government. The Forgery of Venus by Michael Gruber. Chaz Wilmot is a painter born outside his time. He possessed a virtuosic command of the techniques of the old masters. He can paint like Leonardo, Goya, Gainsborough, artists who work sell for millions. But this style of painting is no longer popular, and he refuses to shape his talent to fit the fashion of the day. So Wilmot makes his living cranking out parodies for ads and magazine covers. A break comes when an art dealer obtains for him a commission to restore a Venetian palace fresco by 18th century master Tiepolo for a disreputable Italian businessman. Once there, Wilmot discovers it is not a restoration, but a recreation, indeed a forgery. At first, skeptical of the job, he then throws himself into a creative challenge and does the job brilliantly. No one can tell the modern work from something done more than 200 years ago. The feat attracts the attention of Werner Krebs, an art dealer with a dark past and shadier present, who become Wilmot's friend and patron. Wilmot is suddenly working with a fervor he hasn't felt in years, but his burst of creative activity is accompanied by strange interludes. Without warning, he finds himself reliving moments from his past, not as memories, but as if they are happening all over again. Soon, it is no longer his own past he's revisiting. He believes he can travel to the 17th century, where he lived as the Spanish artist Diego Rodriguez de Silva Velázquez, one of the most famous painters in history. Wilmot begins to fantasize that as Velázquez, he has created a masterpiece, a stunning portrait of a nude. When the painting actually turns up, he doesn't know if he painted it or if he imagined the whole thing. Little by little, Wilmot enters a mirror house of illusions and hallucinations that propels him into a secret world of gangsters, greed, and murder, with his mystery patron at the center of it all. Either as the mastermind behind a plot to forge a painting worth hundreds of millions, or as the man who will save Wilmot from obscurity and madness. Love Undercover by Haley North. A is for apple. Some say this forbidden fruit started men and women down the path of sinful pleasure. One Night of Passion. Just because small-town librarian and single mom Jennifer Wright does not need a man doesn't mean she doesn't want one. She'd love to meet the right guy, who'd be willing to explore the naughty and the unknown with her. Sensible, capable, practical Jennifer Janie Wright. And not insist on putting a ring on her finger. One look at sexy, mysterious Eric Hamilton, and she could read right off the bat that he's the love 'em and leave 'em type, the perfect partner for exploring her sensual fantasies from A to Z. Or a lifetime of love? Undercover agent Eric Hamilton is in Doolittle, Arkansas, only long enough to break up a funny money ring. He's certain this sexy librarian is involved in some way. It's hard to say all business when it's his job to get as close as it takes to his suspects, especially when Jennifer makes him an offer no hot-blooded man could resist. Can Eric only play at love, or has this surprisingly tender and vulnerable woman captured not only his imagination, but also his heart? The Big 80 Club, The Stocking Stranglings and Social Justice by David Rose. This is true crime. Over 8 bloody months in the mid-1970s, a serial rapist and murderer terrorized Columbus, Georgia, killing 7 affluent elderly white women by strangling them in their beds. In 1986, 8 years after the last murder, an African American, Carlton Gary, was convicted of these crimes and sentenced to death. Though to this day, many in the city doubt his guilt, he remains on death row. Award-winning reporter David Rose has followed this case for a decade in an investigation that led him to, among other places, the Big 80 Club, an all-white, private, members-only club in Columbus frequented by the town's most prominent judges and lawyers, as well as most of the 7 murdered women. In this setting, Rose brings to light the city's blood-stained history of racism, lynching, and unsolved murders. Framed by the tale of 2 lynchings, one illegally carried out at the start of the last century, and the other carried out with legal due process at the end of it. The Big 80 Club is a gripping, revealing drama full of evocatively drawn characters, insidious institutions, and the extraordinary connections that bind past and present. The book is also a compelling, accessible, and timely exploration of race and criminal justice, not only in the context of the South, but in the whole of the United States, as it addresses the widespread corruption of due process as a tool of racial oppression. The novel I am currently reading on Kindle is The Things We Wish Were True by Mary Beth Mayhew Whalen. From the outside, Sycamore Glen, North Carolina might look like the perfect all-American neighborhood, but behind the white picket fences lies a web of secrets that reach from house to house. Up and down the streets, neighbors quietly bear the weight of their own past, until an accident at the community pool upsets the delicate equilibrium. And when tragic circumstances compel a woman to return to Sycamore Glen after years of self-imposed banishment, the tangle of the neighbors' intertwined lives begin to unravel. During the course of a sweltering summer, long-buried secrets are revealed, and the neighbors learn that it's impossible to really know those closest to us. But is it impossible to love and forgive them? The following books are being made into movies this fall. Number 1, A Light Between Oceans. It will be out September 2nd. Real-life couple Michael Fassbender and Alicia Vikander star as a couple who find a baby girl on the beach and decide to raise her together. The drama, based on M.L. Stedman's 2012 novel, takes place in post-World War I Western Australia. Number 2, Sully, will be out September 9th. Tom Hanks stars as Captain Chelsea Sully Sullenberger, the real-life pilot who was forced to land a plane on the Hudson River. The drama is based on Sullenberger's autobiography, Highest Duty. Number 3, Queen of Katwe. It will be out September 23rd. This biopic focuses on Phenono Matusi, played by Medina Nawanga from Uganda. She trains to be a world chess champion. The Disney film adapts Tim Crothers' 2012 book and also stars Lupita Nyong'o and David Oyelowo. Number 4, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. It will be out September 30th. The highly anticipated adaptation of Ransom Riggs' 2011 young adult novel follows a teenager named Jacob, played by Asa Butterfield, as he discovers the strange orphanage where his grandfather was raised. Number 5, The Girl on the Train. It will be out October 7th. Emily Blunt stars in this drama based on a Paula Hawkins' 2015 thriller about a woman who starts watching a happy couple in their house when she passes their home on the train every day. She imagines a beautiful life for them until she sees something disturbing. The next day, she wakes up with no memory of the night before and discovers that the woman she was watching is suddenly missing. Number 6, Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life, will be out on October 7th. James Patterson and Chris Tebbett's 2011 graphic novel will hit the big screen. Rafe, which is played by Griffin Gluck, is bored with school and decides to break every rule in his middle school handbook. Number 7, Inferno. Cryptologist Robert Langdon, which is played by Tom Hanks, is back to solve the mysteries of Dante in this adaptation of Dan Brown's 2013 thriller. Number 8, A Monster Calls. It will be out on October 21st. It's based on Patrick Ness's 2011 book. This film follows a boy, Louis McDougall, as he finds a tree monster to help him deal with his mother's, which is played by Felicity Jones, terminal illness. American Pastoral will be out October 28th. Philip Roth's 1997 novel explored the life of a man whose family is torn apart by his daughter's radical political beliefs. Ewan McGregor directs and stars in this movie as Swade, and Dakota Fanning will play his daughter, Mary. Number 10, Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. It will be out November 11th. A 19-year-old is brought home from the Iraq War to be celebrated at a Thanksgiving Day pro football game. Newcomer Joe Alwyn stars as the titular character from Ben Fountain's 2013 book alongside Kristen Stewart, Steve Martin, Vin Diesel, and Chris Tucker. Number 11, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Slated to be released on November 18th. Newt Scamander, played by Eddie Redmayne, travels to New York to find that the American wizarding world is very afraid of being discovered by non-magical folk. The movie, which is the beginning of a trilogy, is based on the Encyclopedia of Creatures that J.K. Rowling published in 2001. If you're looking to join a book club, give Oprah Winfrey's book club a try. Her latest selection is a novel called Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. Thanks for watching, friends. Have a world-class day.